Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 243 of Bill Man the Sport Guys podcast. I'm your host, Bill Man the Sports Guy. Always remember for the latest weekly news of the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, college sports, WNBA, this is the podcast to be. So today's episode, we got some baseball signings plus one hockey contract extension. So let's go to the baseball moves. But before we do that, let's talk about the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl has been announced. We're going to get a 2014 rematch between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I'm going to go with the not Seattle Seahawks. I'm actually going to go with the New England Patriots. I think the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl again. I think they're going to win one, but this time with Drake May as their starting quarterback. And honestly, let's look at the Patriots really quick because this is they've been in the most Super Bowls since 2000. Obviously, seven of them or six of them with Tom Brady. And even if we look at the Patriots currently, in the regular season, the Patriots actually won the division, the AFC East, with a 14-3 record. Compared to last year, they were 4-13. So that's actually a big improvement. And also, Drake May, Stephon Diggs has done good. So has Trayvon Henderson, Rahamdre Stevenson, Will Campbell, Mac Hollins, Hunter Henry, the tight end, Tommy DeVito, Demario Douglas, and even head coach Mike Vrabel, which has been amazing. So at the end of the day, I think the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl, but it's going to be a pretty close game. Trying to predict the score, I think Patriots are going to win 30-27. Actually, check that. I think they're actually going to win 30-24. Let me know who you got win the Super Bowl. I can't wait. All right, now let's go to the baseball signings. First up, the Texas Rangers have acquired Mackenzie Gore. Mackenzie Gore, Washington trade rumors has finally come to an end because he is going to go to the Texas Rangers. Texas is going to get a 2025 first rounder, Gavin Fleen, and four more prospects. We don't know the official prospect-wise still, but Gavin Fleen was obviously a first-round draft pick, and it's kind of too early to tell on how I think he'll do in Washington. I think he'll be another big piece in part of the Nationals rebuild. So that's my thought from the Nationals point of view because they are still going to get younger while building around James Wood. But Mackenzie Gore on the Texas Rangers. Pitching was one part that the Texas Rangers did in the starting pitching department. And adding Mackenzie Gore, very solid left-handed pitcher, really helps. And I like this from the Texas Rangers point of view. They're going to get another good left-handed pitcher. And I think the Texas Rangers will be better than they did in 2025. Do I think they're postseason? It's a maybe, but I don't really think they're World Series contenders by any means. But adding Mackenzie Gore is going to be a big boost from the Rangers' point of view. All right, next up. Sorry, I had a little itch. Anyway, the next one. Let's go to the New York Yankees have re-signed Cody Bellinger to a 5-year, $162.5 million contract. Now, Bellinger was one of the big names in the free agency market, and Bellinger did fine with 29 home runs, 813 OPS, hitting 272, and also picked up a 5 WAR. And I think Cody Bellinger is a solid, good baseball player, and I think he'll do fine with the Yankees. Obviously, people think he's going to get back to the 2019 elite superstar that he was with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And at this point, I just don't think it's possible. So adding Bellinger or keeping Bellinger in the Yankees and the good left-handed bat, I just think this is a solid move from the Yankees' point of view. Now, let's go to the New York Mets because there's two trades they did. The first one, they acquired Luis Robert Jr. from the Chicago White Sox for pitcher Truman Pauly, and infielder Luis Angel Acuna. So Acuna, the younger brother of Ronald Acuna Jr., and Truman Pauly. Now, I'm a White Sox fan, so I'm obviously going to give you my thoughts. Now, so from the Mets' point of view, they are going to get, Met fans, listen to me very closely. You are going to get someone, when healthy, is one of the best center fielders in the game. The biggest problem with Luis Robert Jr.'s game is he has always been hurt. And it is crazy, too. Even throughout his career, 2020 at one point was doing really well, but then fell off and lost Rookie of the Year to Kyle Lewis of the Seattle Mariners at the time. And even the game wise, while this is the third straight season, Luis Robert Jr. has played more than 100 games. He played 145 in 2023, only 100 in 2024, 110. So he played 10 more games. But prior to then, obviously he almost played the entire 60 game season, 56, but then played 68 in 2021, 98 in 2022. So a grand total of 577 games. Now keep in mind, that's a crazy amount of games he's also missed out of the whole 162 game pace, is what I'm trying to say. And it also just was not too long ago that Luis Robert Jr. almost had a 40 home run, 100 RBI season. Now, when healthy, Luis Robert Jr. is elite, and even defensively, super, super good. Luis Robert Jr., now, his past season, 2025, played 110 games, hit 12 doubles, no triples, hasn't hit a triple since 2023, 14 home runs, 53 RBIs, while hitting 223 with a 297 on base, 364 slugging, 661 OPS. So honestly, the second straight season that he has an OPS way below 700, because obviously he had a 738 OPS in 2020, 945 in 2021, 745 in 2022, 857 in 2023. His best season when he had 38 home runs, 80 RBIs. But credit to Luis Robert Jr., he did walk a bit more with 40 walks, but stolen base wise, he stole 33. So he could easily steal bases. And I'm hoping he'll stay healthy with the Mets this year, but I do have a horrible nightmare that he is going to have 30 doubles, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases with the New York Mets in 2026. And he's going to surpass 110 games. Just watch. He's going to do it. And he's going to go off. But Mets fans, you're going to get someone who's really good, has a really good glove, and has a solid bat. But the key thing is he has to be healthy. Trust me, from a White Sox fan point of view. 2023 was his healthiest season. Has not gotten close to what he was since then. Now, also, White Sox point of view. I'll be honest, if this was back in like, let's say 2023 or 2024, then I would have been more upset about this move. But to be honest, I'm not that upset about it. I really don't have a lot of feelings about this move. And, Acuna, I think he's going to get his big shot in the big leagues. And I hope he does well. Now, now comment below on Truman Pauly. I really don't know much about him. Other than I believe he was a recent draft pick. Hope he pans out. I don't know. And it's going to be interesting, especially the win differential for the Chicago White Sox, because prior to Luis Robert Jr. being traded, the White Sox were projected to win 67 wins. So that's my thoughts on that. Next up with the Mets, they acquired starting pitcher Freddie Peralta from the Milwaukee Brewers for prospects Brendan Sprout and Jet Williams. Oh, and they've also acquired starting pitcher Tobias Myers, which I'm not going to comment on Myers. I haven't really heard of him. I don't know much about him other than I just think he'll do fine. And Brandon Sprout, Jet Williams. I think they'll do well with the Brewers. The Brewers have been good at finding out and turning players into much better, and I expect them to do that. Now, Freddie Peralta, this guy's going to be the ace for the New York Mets. Five-time Cy Young Award and also finished last season. And Freddie Peralta, under a new team in the New York Mets, watch out. He's going to go off. And I think the Mets are going to surprise a bunch of people and make the postseason. All right, the next major move we're going to talk about. The Cleveland Guardians are basically going to keep Jose Ramirez. He is a Cleveland Guardian for life. Jose Ramirez has signed a 7-year, $175 million deal extension with the Cleveland Guardians. And Jose Ramirez is awesome. Jose Ramirez, now as a White Sox fan, he is also a White Sox killer, which, ouch, but he is a really good player. Jose Ramirez, 2023, batted 283 with 30 home runs, 863 OPS. It's his sixth consecutive season with an OPS plus also north of 125. And Jose Ramirez, he has hit over 300 home runs and 1,700 hits. And and it's going to keep him through 2032. And this is a good extension. I think Jose Ramirez will go down. I actually think he's going to go down as the greatest player ever in Cleveland Guardians history. I said it. I think he's going to do better than Jim Thome. I think he's going to do better than Travis Hafner. I think he's going to do better than Grady Sizemore. And also based on hitters, because Jose Ramirez hasn't pitched a game, but if he does, could you imagine how crazy it would be? But anyway, Jose Ramirez, not only is he one of the greatest third basemen ever, I'd say top 10, top 15, if we compare all the third basemen, mind you, but also the greatest Cleveland Guardian player ever. I'm at that point where I think this is where he ranks. And honestly, I like it, but Cleveland, if they want to win a World Series, they got to build around him. Almost won in 2016, and what happened in 2016 again? Yeah, so good move by the Cleveland Guardians, don't get me wrong, but now it's time to build a World Series contender around Jose Ramirez. That man needs a ring. All right, one more baseball move to talk about, because there is going to be one football I'm going to quickly give my thoughts on. Harrison Bader signed today with the San Francisco Giants, 2 years at around $17 million, and I'm fine with this move. I think Harrison Bader might be more of a fourth outfielder at this point, but I think Bader brings very good defense to the San Francisco Giants, and he's actually done pretty solid batting-wise. Probably one of his better years, 17 home runs, 796 OPS while hitting 277. I like this move a lot for the Giants. I don't got too much to say outside of that. Now, for the last move to talk about, there's a football move I want to talk about, and it's major. The Pittsburgh Steelers have hired Mike McCarthy. So Mike McCarthy, for a long time, coached with the Green Bay Packers, winning a Super Bowl in 2010, and also recently coached the Dallas Cowboys before being let go before the 2025 season. And Mike McCarthy, at this point, I think he's going to do fine in Pittsburgh. But the big question I do have with the signing is, do the Pittsburgh Steelers bring back Aaron Rodgers? Does this convince him to come out of retirement and play at least another season with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Only time will tell. And that recaps today's... there is one baseball move, but I'll mention the next one. Actually, I'm going to mention it really quick. Chicago White Sox have signed relief pitcher, Sir Anthony Dominguez, on a 2-year deal, $20 million. From a White Sox fan, I got no problem with it. I'm fine with it. I think Sir Anthony Dominguez is going to do really well, and I think he's going to be a very good bullpen leader for all the young bullpen pitchers, such as Mike Vassell, Jordan Leisure, and I'm fine with this, to be honest. And, this season, he bounced back after a tough year. He posted 3.16 ERA, a 3.47 FIP, and between the Orioles and the Blue Jays last season, and he struck out 11.3 batters per nine. allowing only 5 home runs over 62.2 innings. And, got no problem with it. This concludes today's episode with the baseball signings, Mike McCarthy being hired, and also the Super Bowl. Let me know who you got winning the Super Bowl between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. I got the Patriots winning 30-24. Thank you for listening to tonight's episode of Bill Man the Sports Guys podcast. I'm your host, Bill Man the Sports Guy. For the latest weekly news of the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, college sports, WNBA, this is the podcast to be. Have a good evening, everybody. Stay tuned for episode number 244. Peace.